So what is up, guys? And today we're going to be showcasing basically one of the best decks to go against any meta deck currently right now. It's, of course, zombies, anti-meta zombies, pretty much. Basically, you just make Doom King super poly their board constantly, and, I say warlord them. I say to death. So, without further ado, let's just get into this now. Of course, as I said, we have our big daddy boss monster, Doom King Baladroge. He is one of the most annoying cards to deal with. He just keeps coming back. He is so much disruption. This card is literally a pain in the ass to most decks. Like, literally, this card is just insane. So definitely love him because he's just nuts. So two Doom King, and we do run two Necro World Banshee. This is our Zombie World Searcher. Like, there's nothing more to say about that. Basically, this is our extra copies of, I see Zombie World. If you want to run 3, go for it, but there's so many ways to access her and send her to the graveyard and stuff like this, so there's really no reason to run more than really 2. Next, we have our Shiranui, I see Unizombie stuff. Of course, we run the 3 Shiranui Solitaire, then of course we have the 3 Unizombie. Of course, this is just standard zombie combo and fun stuff. So this is insane. Gets your combos and zombie combos going, gets your board set up. Just the normal, typical zombie plays. Then, of course, speaking of typical and normal zombie stuff, 3 Mizuki. Not a once per turn special summon zombies like crazy from the graveyard. Like, this card is nuts. And then we run 2 of his brother, 2 Gozuki. Insane. This is another pretty much a starter in a sense. Basically, you can summon him, a special or normal, and just mill, and just say send Mizuki from the deck to the grave. It just gets everything going. So, love the package. Love it. Insane. Like, if I could run 3 more Mizuki, I would. Like, that's how good he is. Now, our little, let's see, last zombie monster, really, we run Glow Up Bloom. I kept it in here as a 1-for-1 target, but I cut it. Well, let's say cut 1-for-1, and now it's just in here mostly for another tuner. And also, it's just a cool way to, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and add a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand. Or you can special summon it. So it's just another way to search out your Doom King if necessary. Now, tons of hand traps, because we want to disrupt our opponent as much as possible. 3 Ash, because it's the most general, let's say hand trap you can use. It hits everything. It hits the meta and rogue, so it's just the best. It's a universal hand trap in a sense. Then we do run Gamma. We want to stop our opponent from hand trapping us and whatnot, and also Gamma is just a nuts card. A nuts card. If you want, depending on how your locals is, I see Nibiru. If you want to run 3 Nibiru instead and pretty much chokehold your opponent even more, go by all means do it. But I see Gamma, it's just, an out to that. So, it's never a bad thing. And plus, Gamma is just Gamma. Next, spells. Not 3 Zombie World, but 2 Zombie World. We have our Necro World Banshees. Really don't really need to overly do it with Zombie World because there's already a good amount of times where we can access Zombie World, so there's really no problem with it all. There's so many ways to send Necro World Banshee to the graveyard, like, it's nuts. Then, of course, we have Board Breaker, Super Poly. This, Winda, or Alistair, which one's more annoying? Pretty much. Super Poly, you go against these big Dragon Link boards, you know what? Super Poly them. Like it's just a board breaking card. Like, it's nuts. Draw power. Now, I do run Extravagance. If you want, if you have Prosperity, go for it. But really, we really don't need much in our extra deck besides our Super Poly targets and maybe a few Link monsters and maybe if a Synchro plays. Really, our extra deck is kind of versatile and kind of not important, really. As long as we have Super Poly targets, that's all we really need. So either way, Prosperity, Extravagance increases our consistency even more. Draw power is key. Then for one-ofs, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, back row decks, I see Destroy, I see spells and traps, Harpy's Feather Duster. Monster Reborn, bring back zombies along with Book of Life. Most zombie decks don't run Book of Life, but it's interesting because it can disrupt your opponent's follow-up plays by banishing something from their graveyard. So It's not that bad. It sucks because you can't go first with it because your opponent has to have something in the graveyard. So it's only good if you go second and the opponent already did things. But you know, it's never a bad thing, especially if you want to disrupt their follow-up plays. So Book of Life is definitely really good. See, it comes up especially against certain decks and certain pieces that certain decks need. Now, say Call by the Grave, Foolish Burial, of course, and then of course we have Instant Fusion. So we do run say Millenniumize in here, so we can basically just say another way to out say problematic cards like Dragoon and whatnot. Next, the most OP card in the deck, in a sense, Rivalry. Of course, it does the soft lock with Zombie World, so basically says no to your opponent playing say Yu-Gi-Oh! In a sense. So 3 Rivalry it's insane. It's an insane card. If you see this in Zombie World, it's not gonna be nice for your opponent. Now for our extra deck, we're gonna start with Synchros. We want 1 Sun Saga, 1 Synchron, and then 1 again Omega. Omega is basically in here just to rip cards out the hand, so we can disrupt our opponent as much as possible going first, so we can just basically ruin them as much. Formula Synchron is basically you go into this after your say Needle Fiber play it, and plus you you draw a card, so it's never bad. Then Sun Saga, beast of a card. He's just overall nutty, nuts. Then we have our links. We have 1 Unicorn to spin stuff when we say go into it from IP. 1 I say Helki Fibrax, of course. IP, of course, as aforementioned. 1 Avenge Red Savior and 1 Sucker. All depends if you go first or second, really. Depends on which one you go into. And then, of course, our game enders. If you want to do Access Code Talker, go for it. But Boral Sword, Dragon. I mean, as long as you have a card to close out games, like Boral Sword or Access Code Talker or something like that, that's pretty much the purpose of this spot in the extra deck. Just to close games and just basically, say, kill your opponent. Next, our Instant Fusion target, 1 Millenniumize, of course. It's a great out for a lot of things. Then, of course, we have our Super Poly targets. 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Predaplant. This is basically getting rid of problematic cards, Winda, stuff like that, horrible stuff like that. And of course we have Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. And of course we have the big say baddie himself. We have I say the Necro, say Soul Dragon. Basically just breaks your opponent's board, really, especially if you have Zombie World and Super Poly. Nutty of a card. But this has been it for the anti-meta zombies. It's super fun. I mean, if it's something that you like, if you like zombies, go for it. But I really like this deck. It basically gives every meta deck a pain, and it basically slaps any meta deck, really, especially if you open certain cards, like Super Poly, Zombie World, or Rivalry. Those are all just massive shutdown cards for, say, the meta. So it's a super crazy and competitive deck. It's super fun as well. It's nuts. It's great. But this has been my zombie deck profile. If you leave a like, comment, and subscribe like always, and let me know down in the comments below what you think of this profile, and give your own tips and stuff like that on maybe your favorite type of zombie decks. There's so many. There's Maikashi, and there's Pure Sheer News, and there's other cards that are more not focused toward the anti-meta build, but zombies in general are just fun. But I say thank you guys for watching, and until my next video, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye. Quick little correction for the extra deck for the Zombie World deck. I know this is weird. POV. If you don't want to run all of the Super Poly targets, this guy in particular, if you want, you can take him out for actually this card and say it's called the Chaotic Dragon. Magic's Dragon. This card is actually pretty nuts. I run him in Lightstorm, but in Zombie, he's just as good. So if you want, throw him in instead. A quick little insert. All right, bye-bye.